Hello everyone and welcome back to Tech with NK. In today's video, I'm going to propose a solution to the exercise response validation from CS50 Python problem set 7. I'll show you one way that you can solve this exercise. However, I just wish to provide you with a few hints that you could use when doing it later on by yourself. So that said, let's look at the exercise and see what's expected from us. I'm going to start by scrolling through all of this. It's not really that relevant for now. And in a file called Response.py, using either validator-collection or validators, implement a program that prompts the user for an email address via input and then prints valid or invalid if the input is a synthetically valid email address. You may not use ROE and do not validate whether the email address's domain name actually exists. And this simply means that our file should just check if the user's input looks like an email address. And so something as crazy as let's say apples@bananas.oranges will actually pass the test and result as a valid email address because we are not checking if the email address actually exists. All we are checking is if the user follows a specific syntax. And looking at these hints, we can install validator collection with our pip install, or we can install validators like this. For this exercise, we're going to use validators. It's a lot more easier. And looking at this demo, we'll run our code response.py. What's your email address? Milan, invalid. Or run it another time. What's your email address? Milan@harvard.edu, invalid as well. And this third time we'll have a valid email address and the code printed valid. As usual, we're going to create a directory, we call it response, seed into that directory, and then create our file response.py, and at the end test our file before submitting it. And I think the exercise is clear enough, but before heading to VS Code, we're going to look at how to use this method validators. I already have it opened right here. And when we look at this, this is a GitHub page for this module validators. We see that to implement this, all we need to do is import validators and run validators.email and the sample email address. And this looks quite easy. So let's just go ahead to VS Code and get done with this. And in VS Code, the first thing we need to do is import validators. And now that that's done, we'll create a variable, let's call it email. I want to use this variable to get input from the user. We'll pass a string to it saying what's your email address. Email address, give it a space for the user to enter the email, and we have a question mark right about here. And next, I'm going to use an if-else statement, and if validators.email of the user's input email, and if this is true, I want to go ahead and print valid. Else, if this is false, in an else block, we're going to print invalid. Invalid. And that's it for this file response.py. I'm going to save this, and in our terminal, we're going to run python of response.py. What's your email address? Let's go ahead with something crazy. Apple@banana, let me correct this, banana.orange, and that's a valid email address for you. Well, that's a little weird, but then that's what the exercise expects from us. Let me run this again, and this time around just enter any gibberish, and that's invalid. So that's it for this exercise. I believe it was quite easy and direct. If you enjoyed the video, do well to hit the like and subscribe button so as to support the channel. That said, have a good day.